So if ever there was a movie that was made specifically for an audience of one, that audience of one would have to be me for this. We're talking First Time Caller. Hello everybody, I am back. My name is Kevin Halden. This is Nerdly Out Loud, the official channel of nerdly.co.uk, your favourite British home for the news, reviews and exclusive interviews. I like to cover everything from the big budget to the low budget to the no budget, with a special keen interest on the lower end of the scale. Now this movie I feel has a budget, not a massive one, but I feel like it does have one. We're talking about a movie called First Time Caller that literally, if you were to ask me to write a movie, write a script, write a film, go out and make that film, it would probably look a lot like this. It is a talky talk, one man and a camera movie that I just couldn't get enough of. I was absolutely there for the ride. So yeah, spoiler alert, I really like this film. We're going to get into that in a quick hot second, but please do all those amazing things. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and ding that notification bell down below. It will let you know whenever a new episode is dropped, whether it be an interview, a review, or anything like that. It'll come along and it will tell you that we've dropped something new, so please do check it out. If you don't want to do any of those things, like and subscribing and dinging that bell, then please do just tell someone. In fact, you know what? Tell 5 people. Go out there tomorrow or today or whatever. Tell 5 people. You might be on a bus right now listening to this. I doubt it, because that would be strange. But if you are, turn around and tell the person beside you, not beside you, COVID, no, pandemic, no, we don't sit beside people anymore. To be honest with you, I don't go on buses anymore. But yeah, just if you're around someone, just quickly tell them, yo, Nerdly Out Loud, get on the YouTubes, watch his reviews. First time caller, let's go.
Folks, we are gliding silkily into our second hour of friction-free frolic.
You have to trace them all the way back.
You know what? I actually don't.
Well, you pay his health insurance.
These are my sponsors. I'll behave. You're on with Brent Ziff, and I... Whoa! Why'd you call me? What are we doing here?
I've been dreaming of answering this question for 2 years.
Wait, hold on.
I feel the earth, Brent, deep inside me.
You all know the drill, you all know the crack, you all know how it's going to go. I'm going to talk about the plot, then I'll talk about the cast and the crew, then I'll move into what I did and didn't like, and then when I finish up, I will give you my Nerdly Out Loud rating. And that rating's my rating, and it's the one you want to see, it's the one you'll put on your box, so please do stay for that. I'll tell you now, though, it's going to be a pretty good rating for this movie. I kind of did love it. First Time Caller is about Brent Ziff. Brent Ziff is an internet shock-jock DJ podcaster type thing. He basically likes to sit in his basement or in his bedroom or wherever it is in his house and put his thoughts out to the world. He lets people call in and then he basically berates some of them, but in a way, he's kind of also helping. It's sort of, in this day and age of where we are, it's this guy that you can listen to and gives his true thoughts. He's at the absolute top of his game. He's gone viral. He's making all the numbers, doing all the views. People love him. He's flooded with calls on every single show. But tonight, the night that we meet Brent, is maybe going to go a little bit the wrong way, because we got a first-time caller, and boy howdy, is this guy got a story. So Brent takes a call from, we come to know him as Shorty. And he basically tells Brent that he needs to listen to him because he has something he needs to tell him, something he needs to tell the world. We come to find out through the conversations that Shorty can see the future, kind of, in a way. So Shorty's been having these issues with his bowels. Yes, that's right, his bowels. And every time this kind of happens, it coincides or it correlates with a natural disaster out in the world. Sounds mental, is mental, bloody loved it. Obviously Brent doesn't believe him to start off with, but it becomes pretty hard to not believe him when things start to happen within the movie. Now I'm not going to say anything else or go any more in depth on the plot, because that is essentially the plot. He keeps calling up, they keep having the conversations, Brent's back and forth with his emotions on this. We are going to spend the next 75 minutes with Brent figuring this out in real time, and just, yeah, it's gonna get nuts. And anybody who watches this, I tell you now, you will be in for the ride from minute one. So let's talk about our cast. And yeah, This is going to be the shortest cast and crew section of any review I've ever done because it's 2 people. There are some other voices on the go, but we essentially are talking about 2 people. And I'll start with Brent Ziff, the man who's going to bring us all this goodness on his shock-jock internet radio sessions. Abe Goldfarb in this movie, I'm not going to lie, he's so good in this role that I actually want to see what he does next, what he's done in the past, and hopefully we're going to get something else out of this. It would be great to see more of this world. He's like a razor-sharp, fast-witted, sharp-tongued kind of shock-jock that's able to roll with the punches and really point out people's foibles like over the phone and sort of dissect who people are and what they think from the little information that he's got. Genuinely really liked Goldfarb in this role. It's played to perfection. The moments where he's not believing him, but then starts to believe him, or it's getting curious. He nails all these emotions. There's a range of emotions going on with him in this movie. Brent goes through the Miller, really, and he plays everything to a T. It does also help that you have Bryan Silliman. He plays Leo Shorty Short. Shorty for short? He plays Shorty. We only ever see him, or we only ever hear of him in voice only over the phone. But their back and forth is wonderful. And I have to believe that when they were filming this, when they had the camera firmly pointed at Abe Goldfarb, I have to believe that Bryan Silliman was there to really bounce back with the dialogue. Because even though it's on the phone and they're not in the room together, they're not talking together, there's a chemistry there that you can't make up. Whether he's shouting at Shorty, or whether he's condescending to Shorty, or whether he's actually empathizing with Shorty, the chemistry is there. These 2 guys, whether it's a voice only and one guy on camera, they nailed it. They absolutely nailed it. And it sells the story. And I guess that's all I can really talk about the cast, because there are only 2. We do have some other guys who phone up, and there are some really good voices in there. I'm not going to sit here and rattle off who they are or what they did, but if you're seeing this, if you're watching this, I'm not diminishing your role in this movie whatsoever. You all played a part, and those little phone calls in between the main phone calls are really cool. They're really good to listen to. You kind of fall in love a little bit more with Brent because of these phone calls. So what I didn't like, I loved the premise of this movie. I think it works on a whole other level. And I don't know if it benefits from, we've just come out of pandemics and lockdowns and whatnot. Everybody started discovering podcasts. Everybody started bringing out their own podcasts. They became a massive thing because for 2 to 3 years of our lives, we had nothing else to do. But it strikes a chord with me in particular because I've always kind of wanted to produce something like this as a podcast. And it turns out this was originally a podcast. It's a 2-part podcast that's out there. I hadn't listened to it before I seen the movie. I hadn't heard of it. I have now checked it out and listened to it. You should absolutely check it out. I'll put the link in the description. The name of it is escaping me right now, but I'll put the link in the description. It's cool as balls. That's something I've always been intrigued in trying to do. So here we have someone who's done it very well, made a movie from it, and the movie's very good. I love how good this movie looks as well, because we're literally spending all our time in one room. And I guess that does mean that you don't have to waste money on going out and doing this and that and this and that. So you can light this beautifully. You can have awesome sound, which you should always have if it's a podcast. And you can do all of those things to the nth degree. So when you don't have a great budget, which I'm assuming this film didn't have, you can really go to town because what you have got is going to stretch. Director J.D. Brynn has absolutely done that. He stretched this budget to the nines because this thing looks sexy. Super fast cuts in certain places, colors are wonderful, and you just vibe in the moment to the point of when it all really goes to shit, and you're with it. You're there. You're there. There's not a lot I didn't like other than I would quite like to see more of it. I'd quite like to explore other parts of this. I would like to see the other side of the phone call because we find out that Shorty isn't at home. He's heading somewhere. Think from that, you can probably guess where he's heading, but he's heading somewhere. And I'd quite like to see that journey. So if you want to give me the other side of the phone call and literally do the same movie, but from the other side, I'll watch it. It would be a nice accompany piece. But if you want to go out in the world and we meet some other people who are doing this, other people who have called him when this is happening, other people who are involved in this world, I am down. Mac Rogers, writer Mac Rogers of this movie. If you've got more in the tank for this story, this universe, let's have it all. Let's have it all, because I am there for it. A pretty quick review, but yes, the movie is a pretty quick watch. You get absolutely soaked in by the banter and the back and forth. Abe Goldfarb makes you believe in the whole situation. There were points where I'm wondering, is this really happening? Is he just been in his house for too long and he's started to go crazy? I was at that point, and really that was just me looking for something else, I guess. I mean, I'll leave you with that thought, and you might come to that when you watch it as well. But I want people to see this. I want people to check this film out. Hopefully it's out there for wide release on VOD and whatnot, and you'll catch it on the streaming sites. If you see First Time Caller out and about, you absolutely have to check it out. This is probably my strongest recommend in a good couple of months. I've watched some really good stuff that I've really enjoyed, but this one I really enjoyed. I was just in the mood for a post-apocalyptic movie where you don't really see what's going on. That might sound terrible, but trust me, this will have you engaged right the way throughout. You're not sure if you're supposed to even like this guy. You're not sure if you're even supposed to be on his side. But you know what? That's up to you to make your mind up. And I hope you do. I hope you watch this film. I hope you check it out. I hope you see it. Personally, I'm giving it a 5 out of 5. I can't give it anything else. I went straight to bed after watching this movie and told my wife about it. Just sat there, rattled through it. She couldn't have been less interested. She really couldn't. But she thought the concept did sound kind of cool and acknowledged the fact that it's something that I've had in my mind for a little while. So that was cool. But yeah, I think people will check this out and they'll talk about it and they'll want to know what else happened in this world. But even if they don't show us what else happened, there's enough there that you can make up your own stories. Because I had like 100 different stories running in different avenues. And yeah, absolutely. JD Brynn, Abe Goldfarb, Mac Rogers, fantastic movie. Thank you so much for bringing this to the world and letting us be part of this journey. It was a quick 75 minutes, I have to say, and that's not a bad thing. That can be a great thing. But yeah, keep going. I will 100% be checking out everything these guys do. All of the guys involved, I'll be checking out absolutely everything. This has been Nerdy Out Loud. My name is Kevin Halden. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, ding that notification bell, hit me in the comments with anything you need to say, and we will be back for another episode, whether it's a review or an interview or anything like that. I got lots of stuff planned for 2024 as we roll into 2024. I've got lots of stuff planned, and I can't wait to see you then. I'm out. First Time Caller, 5 out of 5. Give it a